Hey there, witches. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, April 10th, and I am your morning witch. And maybe it's still morning in parts of the world. I don't know. I like to take it easy these days. What can I say? Okay, enough about that. It is Friday. Friday is for the weavers, so it means that today's Folklore Friday. Why do we do Folklore Friday on the day for the weavers? Well, because a lot of our original folklore is woven from the truth of our ancestors. That's the best way to put it, because they created stories from the stars, and the original star stories go back very, very far, because they go back to when we all still lived together hundreds of thousands of years ago. Or I guess 100,000 years ago is the oldest story. Anyway, I digress. It's Folklore Friday. We've been talking about the garden, and I was going to be like, I'm going to do some garden folklore, but we're going to start with scarecrows, because I learned scarecrow folklore that I was not expecting to be there, and as a horror enthusiast, it does make sense now, some of the themes that we see with scarecrows in horror. I mean, even I myself had a giant scarecrow that comes to life in my literary world. So I digress. Let's get into scarecrow folklore. Okay, so apparently it is good luck to name your scarecrow. It is good luck to, or rather, it's not just good luck, but you're supposed to, per folklore, talk to your scarecrows when you're out in the garden and keep them appraised of what's going on, like inside your house and outside of your house. Apparently, you're also supposed to keep your bees aware for those who keep bees. Not just talk to them, but talk to them about the current events, including if someone dies in the family, the bees need to know. If they're not informed, they will die. But anyway, back to scarecrows. You're supposed to talk to them. That means they will do a good job watching over your garden. You give them new clothes every year. And it says, okay, so the folklore I read said give them new clothes every year, but also it said you are supposed to put your scarecrow out after Easter, and before Halloween Day, burn it. So, not all the folklore overlaps, I guess is the thing here, right? Okay. I really found that one interesting. Also found that naming your scarecrow interesting, especially if you're then supposed to burn your scarecrow later. But there's a lot more lore around scarecrows, actually, and a whole lot of lore that essentially definitely is just comes from science, and the people that made up this folklore didn't know what the science was, but they did know that the folklore tricks worked, like planting nails around your hydrangeas gives you blue blooms. Well, that's because the soil's pH level depends on what color your hydrangeas are. Again, that's not today's Folklore Friday. However, I've decided, because I was going over in my head, like, how will I introduce this? And I was like, I can't possibly go over all the folklore for gardening and plants in one Friday. I don't even know if I can get through it in one season's worth of Fridays, but we're gonna try. So next Friday we'll be doing more in the garden kind of folklore. It won't be about scarecrows, because we did that today, unless I remember some fabulous thing that I learned that I forgot to share with y'all. But otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous Friday. I hope you get some planting done. If that is on your agenda, it's definitely on mine. And I hope that you remember to stay hydrated, because it's always an important reminder. Bye, y'all.